Hello, students. Let us begin today talking about adverbial clauses. Don't worry, it's grammar, but it's easy and it will help you write very good sentences, longer sentences. All right. There's things called a clause. A clause is a group of words with a subject or a noun and a verb. A verb is words of action, feeling, being, okay? A clause that can stand alone is called an independent clause. Independent person, no help. I can stand alone on my own. It's also called a sentence. A sentence. Here's a sentence. He sings. The subject is he. What he does, the verb is sings. It's called the verb or the predicate. Easy. Now we have something else, a group of words together called a dependent clause. A dependent clause has a subject and a verb, but you can't just say it. It's weird. You can't just say it. Here's an example. When it rains. What does that mean? It is a subject. Rains is a verb, but when we add this word when, it can't be alone. It is not a sentence. Not finished. What happens when it rains? Okay, that's a dependent clause. The clause, we use these dependent clauses to add to a sentence. It tells more about how one thing happens or what one thing is. So, listen to this. When it rains, he sings. That makes sense. We have the clause, when it rains, what happens? He sings. There are many kinds of independent and dependent clauses. Many sentences or independent clauses are things like, Joe likes Myrna. I had fish. They could be nice girls. I am eating fish. Dependent or subordinate clauses, many different kinds. When it rains. When the bills come. So bill is a subject, come. Right? Because I like cheese. Part of it, there's a subject, I, and like is a verb, but we don't know what happens because I like cheese. There's another kind called a relative clause. Who care about children? That happens on Friday. So we'll talk about those another day. Sometimes you hear something like, I love children, people who care about children. I eat the fish dinner that happens on Friday, okay? But today we're only going to talk about one kind of these clauses that stand alone. Dependent. We also call them subordinate clauses of time. When it rains. When the bills come. All right, let's look at some examples. These are called adverbial clauses because adverbs can give more information about a verb. They can do many things, but they can give more information about a verb. Like when, where, and the verb is the thing that happens. When. You felt bad when. You ate cheese where. Okay? Adverbs can tell us when something happened or how something felt or existed. How did he feel? He felt sad. That's how he was feeling. That's an adverb. So an adverbial dependent clause is something that tells about time, in this case. Adverbial dependent clause of time. And it also talks about, has a subject and a verb. After I talk to my mother, I call my sister. Or we pay the bills when the bills come. It's pretty easy. You probably heard these before, but I want you to know the structure so you can write better. Let's look again. These are common words used in adverbial clauses about time. Until, once, after, before, and when. Let's look at all of them. Until means up to the time of. Until we find a virus cure, we should stay in our homes. So here we have virus cure, stay in our homes, cure, woohoo! Now we should go out. Until. We stop here, until. Okay? Until you drink your coffee in the morning, you feel bad. When do you feel bad? In the morning, and then you have your coffee, and now you feel good. Okay? Until, up to the time of. After. After we sing happy birthday, we open presents. When do we open presents? After we sing. So first we sing, after we open presents. You can use the past tense with a clause too. You can say, before there were cars, people rode horses. So maybe, okay, so there were cars. Maybe cars started in, I don't know, maybe the first car was in 1870. I don't know. That's the past. There were cars. Okay. But before that, maybe 1860, I don't know, I'm making this up. 1860, people rode horses. Both parts are in the past. But this is one thing, and this is even before the thing. Okay? You can use adverbial clauses for things at the same time with the word when. When I wash my hands, I use soap. When do I use soap? When I wash my hands. Same time, I'm washing my hands, I'm using soap. When. Okay. Now, it doesn't matter if you put the adverbial clause first or second. It can be either way. Until I was 6 years old, I played with toys. See, this is when I played with toys is the sentence or the dependent clause. Until I was 6 years old, that is this part. Or you can say, I played with toys until I was 6 years old. Use a comma when the adverbial independent clause is first. Look, I did it here. Use a comma, this thing's a comma, when the adverbial dependent clause is first. When the adverbial dependent clause is first, use a comma. See what I did there? All right, very good. I will link some things for you to study after this, and you can practice putting in the right word until, when, after. Okay? Thank you guys. Talk to you this week. Bye.